Hello, my name's Lindy Cowling and welcome to my channel. I didn't expect to be back quite this quickly with another video, but I was very inspired today by an interaction I had with a client, and this client knows who she is. I said if I did this I'd give her a shout out. This client is from Beijing, but in the course of that interaction it inspired me to find a way, or a way came to me, of putting something across that I've wanted to put across with some clarity for some time, and that way was presented to me in the course of our session today. So this video is entitled Twin Flames, Vader or Voldemort, as in Darth Vader or Voldemort from Harry Potter. This video would tie into one I made on disruptor energies that interfere with spiritual and soul connections, and it would also tie in with another video I brought out called The Dark Side of Twin Flames, brought that out about a year ago. Anyone who knows my work will know that I do not focus on the negative side of energy connections, but I am very much a realist, and I do talk about real experiences that I've had. I talk about experiences that my clients have had, and so what I'm saying is I do talk from experience. It's not a hypothesis. I'm very much a realist from that point of view. I think you have to be when you're doing this kind of work, to put out a vibration that people know you're speaking honestly and passionately from something that you have awareness of, you know, not that you're just quoting from a book or something like that. So like I say, the video, Vader or Voldemort, Twin Flames, Vader or Voldemort. And for some time I've been wanting to put this across, and I've skirted around it in another video to do with, I think I called one Twin Flames, Narcs or Psychs, Narcissists or Psychopaths. Skirted around this for a while. During the course of some spiritual and soul connections, there are forms of catalysts that are extremely challenging, and those forms of catalysts can press on very deep wounding within the soul, or within the soul imprint of the people involved, but also wounding in the personality and blocks or wounds in the etheric body and the emotional body, the pain body of the people involved. I will always take the positive angle on this, because these I'm going to term them dark catalysts. When I say dark, the catalysts that come into your life that trigger a lot of pain within you for healing. Like I say, I'm always going to take the positive angle on this. They give you the opportunity to heal things in your emotional body, your pain body. They give you a chance to heal things within the soul, within your energy field. They give you a chance to recognize, for example, in the case of some clients that I deal with, that there's a pattern of those clients always being attracted to narcissists or psychopaths. It gives them a chance to heal that, cure that, and then transition, ascend into the heart, which many of these clients have already done, gone into the heart, having come through the other side of this connection. So even though I'm calling them dark catalysts, they serve an amazing purpose. And when these go the correct way, if you've done a dance, a dark waltz, so let's call it a dark waltz, with one of these catalysts, as you come into completion and as you heal those things in the pain body and heal those blocks, as you come into completion within yourself, you have a huge expansion of the heart, and you go up in your level of consciousness. You expand in your level of consciousness, of awareness again. And that is what I see when I deal with people all over the world, and that is what I've personally experienced myself. That usually one of the party that is involved in such a connection, they ascend, a transition into the heart opens more, and they go forward in their life or in their mission, in an expanded state of consciousness, you know, up into fifth and up. Now I'm often dealing with people that are well beyond fifth level connections at this point, which has been beautiful. I'm dealing with people that are up in ninth. I mean, it's amazing to connect with these people. But what I'm saying is, when it's gone that way, one of the party goes that way, and usually the other one that has chosen on the level of the soul and spirit and consciousness to remain within the lower base chakra, the manipulation, the control, the narcissism, the psychopathic tendencies, and often 9 times out of 10 as a disruptor energy feeding through them, they usually remain in that level of consciousness, a different level of consciousness, a lower level of consciousness. I'm not judging. I keep always reiterating that it's a different level of consciousness. Both parties are given the option to transition, to ascend, to go up into an expanded state of consciousness. I have yet to encounter a case yet. It may happen, and just because I haven't encountered it doesn't mean that's not happening, where both parties have both ascended and both transcended. I haven't seen that yet. Just because I haven't seen it doesn't mean to say it's not happening. Other people might be seeing that. Maybe we aren't at that stage of evolution. Maybe somebody with an empty shell that has made the decision on the level of the soul not to ascend, not to transcend, not to expand their consciousness, is unable to go into the heart because they have chosen on that level, or have very strong narcissistic psychopathic tendencies. Maybe you know, at some point in our evolution as a species, there will be an opportunity to change that. Everything in my knowing at the moment says no. But just because everything in my knowing at my state of consciousness at the moment says no, all I can say is that, you know, that I use the awareness that I'm at the moment. I've not seen that or experienced that so far. It usually does that one falls away and remains in third dimensional awareness of consciousness. One seems to go into the heart, ascending, and go forward in that state of consciousness. So the reason I'm bringing this video out is because I really feel that I have fully understood the meaning in our literature and our philosophy of what a shadow twin is. Anyone that's been connected with this kind of connection that I was going to say mimics a twin flame frequency, but that actually isn't true, and this is what I've become aware of this afternoon. It doesn't mimic it. It actually is part and parcel of the same spectrum. Somehow it is along the same kind of frequency. This is where some huge, massive confusion comes in, and people are absolutely convinced it's a twin flame, and so they hang on immense amount of suffering and pain year in, year out. The other twin flame is perhaps sleeping with women, you know, doing drugs, doing alcohol, running around for years, mistreating them, sometimes beating them up, all sorts of things, staying married, multiple marriages, incest, you name it. I've seen it, I've heard it. and actually experienced some of those things. And now what I'm, coming to the realization of is these people aren't mistaken in feeling it's a twin flame. The connection really does happen at the level of spirit and soul, no doubt about that. 1,000,000%, not 100%, 1,000,000%. That is a profound connection, the biggest catalyst these people will ever have in their life. It has to be to scourge out the bottom of the tank. It has to be really, really powerful connection. Like I say, I'll always take the positive spin on this. I will not go down the negative route. Nobody's a victim here. I won't take that frequency on it. What I'll say is when this happens, the connection really is as deep and as powerful as that. And it gets in on every level of the mind, body, spirit and soul, almost like, if it goes to its extreme level, it's like a contaminant, like a virus. If you heal from the connection in time and almost get out of the connection, come away from the connection in time, and that varies from person to person. Most people are in these connections for quite a long time, years, but not always. Then, like I say, and it goes the right way for one of the parties. You come into your heart and you're fully healed. And I would have to say, for the people that I've worked with and from my own experience, to heal from narcissistic parents and narcissistic bloodlines, narcissistic tendencies, sometimes you have to dance with a narcissist to heal from that. Not always. This is, again, I'm talking from experience and what I am seeing, what people are reporting to me, the people I'm working with a lot of the time. So the point I'm trying to make here on this video is people really are connected on the level of spirit and soul here, and these connections, I think this is what people in literature were formerly calling a shadow twin. It is weaved in the genuine frequency of a twin flame union. It just is able to do that for so long, but it can't really stay in the light. It can only operate by staying back in the shadows, so it only operates by continually promoting and provoking emotional drama, emotional pain, distancing, the old narc psychopathic tendencies again. This is how this energy sustains itself and feeds. Actually, it can't feed up close in the light. It just can't do it because it's too bright, and then games up. The shadow really shows in that bright light. So it really is a real phenomenon, and I do not speculate. I'm really going to be emphatic on this. I don't speculate. It took me nearly 4 years to come out on camera and be able to say this with confidence, because I was not at a stage where it was all cleared through my pain body. I had not worked with enough clients worldwide where I could correlate a pattern and see a pattern and validate it, because I will not use hypothesis. I will use experience and realization. So it's something that's there. Again, this is nothing to be afraid of. I'm talking about something that's already happened. I'm not seeing new connections like this being birthed. I'm sort of seeing this in people that have been in connection for quite some time, been through the ringer. And the wonderful positive thing about this is that most of these are not caught in the cycle of suffering, which I brought a video out on earlier last year. But they've already ascended and gone into their heart and are in a position where they are backing off from these connections. Again, I recommend Richard Grannon, Sam Vakning, Melanie Tonya Evans are people that work with those that have been through connections where there are narcissistic, psychopathic tendencies and abuse, post-traumatic stress disorder, and all the lovely jolly goodies that go with it. They can cover one level of it. I don't know that they can cover the spiritual soul level of it so much, because they will be talking on a personality to personality level, and they're fantastic at that. Fantastic. rather than a soul to soul, spirit to spirit, and how it gets in there. What I would say to you, they would, I'm sure, advocate that, you know, no contact is the golden rule. I would say that I understand where they're coming from on that, on personality to personality, and even soul and spirit. If you are involved in any toxic connection, whether you suspect that that's a genuine twin flame, a lot of people that are involved in these, it is not the divine end of the spectrum of a twin flame template, it's the other end of it. No judgment, I'm just saying what I'm seeing and have experienced. So from that point of view, because you've been entrenched very deeply by that point, and probably intimate with these as well, these connections, is to, from a spiritual and soul connection point of view, pull away from this, bit by bit, step away from it. When you're involved in anything toxic, whatever level it's on, a toxic relationship or a toxic connection, where I don't care if you call it soulmate, I don't care if you call it catalyst, twin flame, what I do care about is the alleviation of suffering in people and the empowerment of people. And there is nothing to be gained when one of the connection, most often I see it as a woman, not always, but most often the woman, not always, that is being pulled around by a rag doll on the receiving end of some very disruptor energies working through a narcissist or psychopath. It's the biggest catalyst you will ever have. I could say that about anything in life. You know, you can take a negative or positive view on something. Take the positive. Use your heart expansion if your heart has expanded from it. Get assistance if you need assistance. And, you know, step away from that connection until you can come into a state of understanding what your own boundaries are and your own self-worth. And, you know, come into a state of healing, however long that takes. That will not happen overnight. And don't let anyone tell you that what you have had has not been a powerful, probably as powerful as it gets, connection. And I really can't put a pin between these connections and twin flames, because I fully, 1,000,000% realised this afternoon that there isn't a pin between them. It is virtually the same, or, you know, another way somebody might say, well, does it almost mimic it? It's very, very close. And what I can say is, you know, where there's a crossover and confusion between that and genuine twins, any connection you're involved in that is very, very toxic and destructive, just step back from it. If it's a genuine twin flame union, anyway, focusing on your own healing and coming into completion is only going to help that anyway. You know, nothing's going to stop a divine connection of beloved twin flames. Nothing. Nothing. So it will come into completion anyway. I've said this many, many, many times on videos. Focusing continually on the other party just becomes obsessive and destructive and slows everything down, and, you know, anyway. So it's a win-win here. If you are in a really prolonged, I'm not talking about the odd hiccup, really prolonged carnage, abuse, having physical abuse, domestic abuse, you know, gaslighting, emotional abuse, if you're drained dry of your energy, emotionally wrung dry, and you are in a triangle situation with these people, just step back from it and do your own healing, and give yourself a chance to rebalance and heal. Like I say, if it's a genuine twin flame union, that will right itself anyway. The greatest act of love you can do for yourself and your twin, if it's a twin, is to come into a state of balance and healing within it anyway. If it's just a toxic mess, my sincere advice to you, with love, is to step back, and, you know, see what rushes in the space when you create it once you step back from it. And once again, I will love you and leave you. I did not expect to bring this out today, a little bit rushed, but I was just totally inspired by the session I did this afternoon, and suddenly I thought of a way of putting it. You know, in the Harry Potter movies, if anyone's seen that, Voldemort and Harry Potter's soul actually partially, in a way, merge. They overlap so that both souls are intricately, you know, entwined. I truly, truly, truly feel that's what happens in the darker catalysts that kind of mimic or hold a very, very compatible frequency to twin flames. So bear that in mind. You know, I feel that that's what happens. That's why it's so confusing. Again, it's still a huge opportunity for growth. Yes, you're still in love with that person. It doesn't change any of those things. I just hope it gives you a little bit of clarity on it and a little bit of comfort on it. You know, you may not have been dancing with John Travolta. It may have been Darth Vader, after all. I will love you and leave you, and cut yourself some slack. Give yourself some space and come into a state of balance and healing. Thank you, and thanks for watching. Bye. Oops. I'm not going to be able to stop recording now. Bye.